Hi there, my name is Sam from Versatile.com and welcome to a new comparison video between Huawei's P40 Pro Plus and the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. It's a battle between two phones with incredible camera features. But the camera system alone doesn't define a good smartphone. So which of these phones is actually a good smartphone? That is what we are going to find out in this comparison. If you'd like to see more comparisons like this, feel free to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Let's start straight away with our review. Let the facts speak. Display. The P40 Pro Plus has a 6.58-inch display with a 1200p resolution. The very accurate colors are created by an OLED screen. The 6.58-inch display therefore measures 16.7 cm diagonally with a pixel density of 441 ppi. The Huawei P40 Pro Plus has a refresh rate of 90 Hz. The Xperia 1 Mark II has a 6.5-inch cinema wide display, which means it has a 21:9 aspect ratio with a 1644p resolution. It uses a 4K OLED screen which creates crispy sharp images. The 6.5-inch display therefore measures 16.5 cm diagonally with a pixel density of an incredible 643 ppi. The screen only has a 60 Hz refresh rate, but it uses motion blur which creates the look and feel of a 90 Hz display. So, both phones have great displays with almost the same size. The Xperia has a 60 Hz refresh rate, but they made it look like 90 Hz. And Huawei actually has 90 Hz refresh rate. But Xperia's extreme high resolution and very high pixel density makes it a better screen. Therefore, the point for the display goes to Sony's Xperia 1 Mark II. Performance. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark II has 256GB internal storage capacity. It is equipped with a super-fast Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 chip with 1x 2.84 GHz, 3x 2.42 GHz and 4x 1.8 GHz and has 8GB RAM. Storage capacity can be expanded by up to 1 TB. The Huawei P40 Pro Plus has 512GB internal storage capacity and is equipped with an in-house produced Huawei Kirin 990 5G chip with 2x 2.86 GHz and 2x 2.36 GHz and 4x 1.95 GHz and has 8GB RAM. The storage capacity can be expanded by up to 256 GB. In terms of performance, both phones have 8GB RAM, but use different kind of processors. So let's see which chip is stronger. Let's take them to the AnTuTu benchmark test and find out who is outperforming who. The tests are divided into three phases. A performance test of the RAM, a test of how the device is handling two-dimensional graphics, and an endurance test of how the device is handling 3D graphics. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 comes out as a stronger chip and takes home the performance point. Camera. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark II had three main cameras: a 60mm ultra-wide, a 24mm wide angle and a 70mm telephoto camera. Each camera has a resolution of 12 megapixels. The front camera's resolution is 8 megapixels. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark II records 4K videos at a maximum of 60 frames per second. And of course it has image stabilization for video too. The P40 Pro Plus has five main cameras. The ultra-wide with 40 megapixel, the ultra-vision with 50 megapixel, two telephoto with 3 and 10-fold optical zoom and 8 megapixel each, and a 3D vision camera. You can find two front cameras in the upper left corner of the screen. The first one has a 32 megapixel resolution and the other one is an IR depth vision camera. The Huawei P40 Pro Plus camera system was co-engineered with Leica and it's a beast when it comes to taking good pictures. It also records 4K videos at a maximum of 60 frames per second. It also has image stabilization for video. Both phones have good camera systems, but which one is actually the better system? Let's take it to our daytime camera test and let's find out which one does a better job. Like we already mentioned, both phones come across with excellent camera features. The P40 Pro Plus takes incredible pictures. They are sharp and perfectly in focus with really great color rendering. The Xperia takes also great pictures, but not quite as good as the P40 Pro Plus. The Huawei has a 3-fold and 10-fold optical and a 100-fold digital zoom feature. The Xperia 1 Mark II on the other hand has a 3-fold optical and only a 3-fold digital zoom feature. But the 100-fold doesn't make it a better zoom feature. Like we already mentioned in previous videos, it is just a gimmick. It is fun to have, but not really necessary. When it comes to slow motion, Huawei also sets the tone with 960 frames per second in Full HD and up to 7680 frames per second in HD. The Xperia 1 Mark II doesn't even come close with its 120 frames per second in 2K mode.
So when the Huawei P40 Pro Plus is such a beast compared to the Xperia 1 Mark II, why do we call it a battle between the camera systems? It is pretty simple. We think that the Pro apps of the Xperia lets it stand out from most of the phones out there. Needless to say that Sony provides a system or sensors to a lot of smartphone manufacturers out there. So we wanted to give it our props and wanted to let you know that it's definitely something to consider if you want to get a phone with a good camera system. Still, the point in this comparison goes to the P40 Pro Plus.
Design. The Huawei P40 Pro Plus has a clean design with a glossy finish. The 5-camera system is well positioned on the upper left corner on the back of the phone. The camera bump is pretty big and it sticks out a lot. The smartphone weighs 209 grams, it's roughly 15.82 cm long, 7.26 cm wide and 0.89 cm deep. It has a USB-C connector and thanks to an IP68 rating, it's water and dust resistant. The P40 Pro Plus uses face recognition technology and a fingerprint scanner which is built into the screen to unlock the phone. The face recognition technology works perfect at daylight and also good in a weak light environment. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark II has a clean design with a glossy finish. The triple camera system is well positioned on the upper left corner on the back of the phone. We noticed that lots of flagship phones have really big camera bumps that stick weirdly out of the back of the device. Sony did a good job by reducing theirs to an acceptable amount on this phone. The smartphone weighs 181 grams, it's roughly 16.6 cm long, 7.2 cm wide and 0.7 cm deep. It is water and dust resistant thanks to an IP68 rating. The Xperia 1 Mark II has, like every modern smartphone, a USB-C connector. You can unlock the phone via fingerprint scanner which is built into the power button on the right side of the phone. One thing that you cannot find in most of the new flagship phones is an audio jack. The Xperia 1 Mark II still has one, which we consider as a bonus point.
The truth is, we don't like Huawei's design. The look and feel is nothing that appeals to us, but that is our subjective opinion. Comparing these two phones, we think that the Sony Xperia comes across way more elegant. Yes, even though it has bezels on top and bottom. Therefore, we give this point in this category to the Xperia. What do you think? Do you prefer Huawei's design or that of the Xperia? Be sure to post your decision in the comments below. We'd love to hear your opinion.
Battery.
The Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, when fully charged, had 4000 mAh. On the other hand, the P40 Pro Plus, when fully charged, had 4200 mAh. So the Xperia has a slightly smaller battery, but does it last as long as the P40 Pro Plus? Let's see what our day-to-day usage test tells us. The slightly bigger battery helped the P40 to last longer. This point therefore goes to the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. But as we always mention, both phones get through a whole day of normal usage. Like ours, it depends on the way you use your phone and the settings you use it in.
Conclusion.
And here it is, the end of the video, and it is time to announce a winner. But before we do that, we go through all of the categories and collect the points. First, let's start with the display. Once again, an easy win for Sony. Its display is one of the best on the market at the moment. So the Xperia scores the first point. And again, Sony takes home the win. The Snapdragon is simply stronger than P40's Kirin chip. The camera point goes to Huawei P40 Pro Plus. Its outstanding camera system deserves to take home this point, but we still have to mention that Sony's camera is worth taking a look at. In terms of design, the P40 Pro Plus once again loses out and the Xperia clearly takes home this point. Last but not least, the battery life comparison. It was close, but Huawei wins here. Overall, 3 points go to Sony's Xperia 1 Mark II and 2 points to the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. Therefore, Sony is the winner in this comparison. And again, we want to let you know before buying the P40 Pro Plus that due to the not existing Google Play Store, it is really nerve-wracking to install apps that you usually use on your smartphone. Therefore, we actually wouldn't recommend buying this phone at this moment. Naturally, we review more than these 5 categories covered here. If you want to see the full comparison, follow the link here to our website. You can compare up to 7 different smartphones at versus.com. But before you do that, please post your comments and let us know which phone you think ranks first. If you liked our video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Take care and see you soon.